As a shock to me, I am back again here with yet another spoiler for the new Once Upon a Galaxy set Candelar. And frankly, I am super excited to show it to you guys. Having the opportunity to spoil even more cards feels incredible. And with this video, I'm going to separate into two parts. I'm going to get the spoiler done first. So for the people who are here just for this, well, you can view the spoiler and then move on with your lives. But for the people who are also interested in getting a little bit more insight into how to play the game, we're going to dive into a run right after this, where I'll kind of show you how I've climbed MMR so quickly. But let's talk about that spoiler first. So I have a character to spoil for you today, and it is Volo here, which says when you recruit a quest character, get a random treasure of their rarity, and then this looks to be a rare card that is also a mage. Pretty interesting here. We have a couple different mages that already have this questing mechanic to them, so you can play this in a mage synergy type deck. But I'm also thinking about what other captains that we could play Volo with. Also, being a 1/1 here, it may be something that you want to put on your board and then not keep it on there for very long, and thus you're trying to kind of like cycle through your mages, get 2 treasures fast, and then move out of it. But let's look at how this synergizes with some of the captains. So 3 that come to mind for me, first being Dorothy. If Dorothy really cares about us having these questing characters be on our boards, then playing Volo in a Dorothy deck makes a lot of sense, as we're getting even more treasures from Dorothy. Because when we're playing Dorothy, if we're getting extra treasures from the quests that we're completing anyway, we can also sub in like a mage package with inside that, so that we are getting like double the triggers from our treasure generation or quest completion. I think that would be really, really cool. The other one that jumps out to me here, the second one that is Artemis. If Artemis has the ability to get up to that secret rarity, then if we have Volo, we can take Volo, then we can find mages that have that secret rarity type there, and then it's going to give us a secret rare treasure, which are incredibly powerful in the game. It takes a little bit of work to get there, but having those treasures can completely alter the game and flip it completely on its head and allow you to win, along with your secret rare characters with that too. It's a pretty good 1-2 combo. And then the last one here, I'm thinking about Lightning Thief, and just generally captains that care about mages. So with Lightning Thief, we're casting a lot of our spells, and thus Volo, when we have it only being a 1/1, we have characters that are going to be buffing up our other mages or having other abilities that can buff up our other mages. So although this Volo is a 1/1, there are going to be more ways that if we're playing this kind of mage synergy build where we're casting a lot of spells to make its power and toughness a lot bigger, so it's a little bit less of a downside. Also with that, there are characters like Wizard Headmaster. We can put something like a Mirror Mage in our deck, which is a questing mage, and within that, if we can get to that higher rarity tier, the epic tier from the Wizard Headmaster, we can potentially, have that Mirror Mage in our deck. And we're going to proc our Wizard Headmaster, get our Mirror Mage, that's going to be our mage, that can then proc our Volo, and then we are well on our way to getting even more treasure value from this sort of thing. And also, the Wizard Headmaster could potentially find us Volo, because Volo is a mage. So a lot of really cool synergies to think about just with one card. I'm curious to hear what you all think about Volo. I think it's a pretty cool card, and there could be some synergies that I'm definitely not seeing. I am newer to the game, but at the same time, I have invested more hours than I care to admit at this point in playing the game, so I'm still trying to think of ways in which we can maximize off the cards that are just in the pool right now, but I am excited for this new Candelar set. With that, this is our spoiler for today. Why don't we dive into a run that can show you a little bit more about why I love this game. Alright, so I fired up a run here, and I immediately see someone who catches my eye, which is Jay Sparrow. It doubles your hunt abilities, and this captain can get out of control pretty quickly here. I'm playing with a custom deck as well that really wants to be trying to get as many hunt triggers as possible, which is obviously the name of the game on Jay Sparrow, but your big payoff here is Blackbeard. So this card, it says I have +4/+4 for each time your characters have successfully hunted this game, and then it also triggers your other hunt abilities. This can synergize super well with like a Hercules that's going to double its power and toughness and things of this nature. and also just all of your other great pirates and hunt characters as well. So let's keep going here and dive into playing Jay Sparrow. So right off the bat here, I have the option of getting this hunt character in Plunder Penny. Mind you, this improve your buffs from spells by +1 attack is not necessarily the most potent of abilities there, but if I can get that to trigger at least once, that could do some good things for us, so I will go ahead and buy her there. And then now I see Despicable Smee, Evil Stepmother, and Baby Dragon. I do like taking this Despicable Smee. We have this pirate mage over here, and if this Despicable Smee sees this pirate mage attack, then it's going to give it +2/+1, and that's going to be helping this thing actually do some damage. So I will take that and kind of hope that we go first here, and we do. Nice, awesome. So we get our trigger there. Spells are going to be improved, or improving our buffs by spells from +1 attack, so that's really nice. And then now here, I kind of want to keep that magic flow, and I want to get this puck here which says it's going to support the front 2 rows with +3 attack, which is going to do good things for us and ensuring that we can get our hunt triggers off. And I see it now, an upgrade to Plunder Penny. Sure, I'm going to take that. More hunt triggers, an upgrade to Despicable Smee feels pretty good. I'll take that too, and an upgrade to Puck. That feels even better. And this is a tough decision here. So there are Jealous Stepsisters, which they are not a pirate, so our Smee is not going to care too much about it. But what we could do is we could put it in front of our Puck, so that this quest here where it says it deals 6 damage, this would only need to have hit opponent's cards twice to actually trigger. It's not a very powerful card outside of that, but having the opportunity in a single fight to get this quest done would be very good for us if we can do it. So I will go ahead and take the Jealous Stepsisters. I'm also thinking that I'm going to put this Despicable Smee back here, just so that it's less likely to get sniped, and then potentially it could go in fight back, and then it can give itself that +2 attack. Mind you, this does leave me a little bit more vulnerable because this Plunder Penny could be sniped, and I really don't want that to happen, but let's see what goes on here. Okay, we get off first, which is nice, and their attack doesn't kill our Stepsisters. That's great, and we actually win that fight. Beautiful. So we got everything we wanted there. The Jealous Stepsisters, our quest is complete, and we see some interesting treasures here. So Robin's Bow, give +4 attack to the first character you recruit each turn. Cursed Ring, villains in your shop have +2/+2, and Golden Ring, your characters have +3/+3 who are golden. We're pretty close to goldening a couple characters. However, I'm going to take this Robin's Bow. My reasoning is I really care about hunt triggers because I am Jay Sparrow, and hunt triggers happen when we actively attack our opponents. So I want to always be recruiting hunt characters when I want to ensure that they have high enough power to actually trigger their hunt. So I'm going to take the bow here, and okay. Pan Shadow is interesting. It would mean that our Puck gives +4/+0. There's also this Karma Chameleon, which it itself is kind of a weird hunt one, where it's going to hunt and then transform into a rare character. But because we have Jay Sparrow, it's actually going to transform into a mythic character. So I am inclined to take the Karma Chameleon, and this is just kind of a free reroll, helps ensure that we're going to be doing the thing we want to do. And all right, we do see the Despicable Smee Golden here. Giving +4 attack to a pirate is pretty nice. I don't really like these other options. I could even do this. +8 attack is a lot, but generally I don't like to give a character +8 attack that I know I'm going to replace. I would rather buff the slot if possible. So I'm going to just take this golden Despicable Smee here, and we get the Cursed Ring again. Captain's Cutlass does work pretty well in our hunt ability triggering, because it is going to care about, giving more attack, and that's exactly what we want to do to trigger hunt. I do also really like Twin Shot. Twin Shot's going to help all of our characters versus our Karma Chameleon, which, it may matter, may not, this +5 here. So I am really inclined to take this Twin Shot, as it'll just be kind of good to have this buff across our board and potentially help us win fights where, like, our Jealous Stepsisters being a 1/3 is not very powerful. So I'm going to take the Twin Shot there and hope that our Karma Chameleon can do its thing. It doesn't, it gets sniped, that's okay. We can actually see that our Twin Shot helped us out a lot there. If we didn't have that, I don't know if we would have even knocked 2 characters out. Okay, so What do we have here? We have Shanty, which is pretty good. It's going to keep buffing up our characters in our shop. There's also just the opportunity to golden this puck. I'm going to take that opportunity. Getting a treasure, and also this is an effect that I really want, is going from +3 to +6 attack. I think that's going to be good for us. Okay, here's Masterwork Scrolls. Your buffs from spells give an additional +2/+2. Definitely not bad, especially if we can get something like a rain comes down, which is going to buff up all of our slots on their front row. There's also a lucky chest. It's probably between these two. Quests give treasures one rarity higher for the potion of treasure finding is not bad, but I don't know how many characters with questing that I'm going to be recruiting. I'm just going to take the Masterwork Scrolls here. This could be pretty nice for us in the future. There is a Cowardly Lion, which, I just talked about how I don't know how many quests I'm going to complete. A 4/7 feels pretty nice. I could put that in place of our stepsisters, and it would actually be a 6/7. Jill Sunshine is pretty good too. There's also just like the Minotaur, or the Minotaur, depending on what part of the world you come from. So it's probably between one of these two. I kind of like having something with a little more toughness in this slot over here to potentially absorb some damage and have it be fought twice versus the Minotaur that's probably just going to trade off with whatever we find. It's a tough decision. Jill Sunshine is also almost better than our puck, but if we can gold tier that, that would make sense. There's also Silver Moon, but I don't have any bronze tier characters I really care about. I'm going to take this Cowardly Lion. I have a feeling I'm going to probably just replace this almost immediately in the next fight. But yeah, let's get into the battle here. And our Karma Chameleon does go off, and we do absorb one hit. Although, okay, we trade off with our board, and that's pretty good for us. So now we have a 2 blind mice. Interesting. So buffs are doubled on this mouse. And we can, get a +26 attack thing somewhere. That feels pretty good. And what do we have here? So we have Wink. We also have Blackbeard's Parrot. Your pirates have Hunt, give me +3, or give my slot +3/+3. That's going to be pretty good for us for sure. We have 2 good pirates that we care about, and I really don't mind replacing that Cowardly Lion. And this looks like just kind of a free reroll for me. I could take this, which is another reroll, but I like the ability of having the option to look at 3 different characters that I could select from instead of 1. So I'm going to just put this over in the abyss over there, whatever it might be called. And, okay. So we have Achilles, who is not a pirate, but they can give our other characters a good buff. Generally, I don't like taking Achilles because I think this farewell trigger can backfire on you pretty easily. I kind of like just taking Rose here. Getting +1 health on all of our characters in our shop in the future feels good. Goodie Bag is pretty powerful too, but this 1 toughness could genuinely matter a lot. And do we want to change anything in our fight? Not necessarily. I think our orders are decent. We could potentially do something like this, but it's a matter of, do we think our Despicable Smee is going, do we want this to trigger, or do we want this to trigger from our parrot? And I think we'd rather have the +3/+3 trigger. So I am going to put the Smee, or I would rather have the +4 attack trigger, sorry. So I'm going to put that back there like so. Okay, let's fight. All right, nice. We get our trigger off, and looks like we've traded with our opponent. Not bad. Okay, so with Plunder Penny, our buffs are going to be doing good things for us. We just have to make sure we're cognizant of looking at these spells. Here's a Tin Man, their Shipshape Inspector. Doesn't look like the inspector is going to do a ton for us. I could just take this Peter Pan, and then this will actually give +6/+1 to our front slots. I am getting to the point where I am a little concerned about stats though. But you know what? If I'm concerned about stats and I don't like what I see, I'm just going to take the Lightning Bolt. It's going to help us win the next fight. And then there's also Boon Willow back here, or a 2-headed wizard. There's also Davy Jones, which has a pretty nice effect here in the Hunt and Farewell. They gain +2/+2 on the slot. I could even replace the Plunder Penny with that. It's also a pirate. Yeah, that might just be better than this 2 blind mice. I could definitely see that. Yeah, I'm just putting that in there. So when this inevitably does get hit, it will still buff the slot for the future. And this makes sense over the longer course of the game. I don't know that the Plunder Penny we're going to care as much about this +1 attack, just given that we're kind of aggressively recruiting characters. So I'm going to run it like this. And nice, we killed the range character and we win the fight. We get our heart back. Feels pretty good. All right, this is a spell that I was really hoping we would find here, which is Down Came the Rain. It says give all 3 front row slots, and normally it's +1/+1, but because we've done such good work with our Plunder Penny and we have this Masterwork Scroll, it is +11/+3, so that feels pretty good. And now that we've done that, we have 2 pretty good upgrades that we could put in our slots. This Ninja in Training is a sneak, which is going to hit the back line, and it has ranged, so it's very likely to 2-for-1 our opponents if we put it in a slot that's buffed up. There's also the Mockingbird, which is just a very powerful card on its own, but if we are putting it in these buffed up slots, it gets even better. I'm kind of thinking we could replace this Plunder Penny. I put the Ninja in Training here, and I do want my Davy Jones to trigger its hunt ability, so I will keep it like so. I don't know, it actually just makes more sense to do it like this, so I'm gonna keep it in this slot. This is the more powerful play. So yeah, we get our 2-for-1. We actually are gonna get a 3-for-1 off that one, which feels pretty good. Nice. Okay, so there's a spoonful of sugar. I'm not super interested in buffing up a character right now. I kind of want to be playing again more for the future. That being said, there is not a lot of characters that I would love to take right here. There's like the Pirate, but I already have some pretty good hunt trigger enablers going on. I guess our Despicable Smee could potentially be replaced by like the Pirate. That's a tough call. Also, I'm thinking we could even do something like this. I guess the parrot itself is going to be giving the Smee a hunt trigger, so because of that, maybe we do want to play it up here. That was probably best for us to do. I'm also just thinking, when is it time to replace this Puck? +6 is pretty significant on our board, but I do want to ensure that we're getting all of our hunt triggers. There's also something like Dash, which I could put on to like our front row. I think, yeah, it feels weird to replace this right now. I'm just going to take the spoonful of sugar. I'll invest in our Ninja in Training. And then, well, there's Sir Francis Drake. So its hunt triggers get a random common treasure that improve this ability. I like this card a great deal. And where would I put it? It's definitely bigger than our Puck, but our Puck is effectively worth, let's see, 6, 12 plus 9, so 21, 3 worth of damage. I mean, I guess the Sir Francis Drake is just even better than that. So I'm going to replace it over there, and I think that'll make most sense. Keeping it in the back line too will hopefully allow us to protect it a little bit, and because it's not super big on its power, it'll be in the correct spot. I guess I could also put it over here. Yeah, it's not horrible, but I'm not necessarily capitalizing off this Ninja in Training, but that's okay. Let's run this. And looks like our Sir Francis Drake will trigger and it will survive. So we get 2 common treasures, and Magic Acorn is a pretty good one too. So what do we get? Got this Acorn, which says your supports support all your front row slots. So instead of just supporting 2, it's going to support all 3. We also got Pipe and Hot Pie. When one of your animals is KO'd, give it slot +2/+2. All right, not bad. Here's also Starlight Starbright. So because we've done all this buffing, we're going to be buffing up our characters, all of them pretty significantly. There's the Jasmine Dragon, but I don't need to do that. This buff is going to be pretty huge for what we're trying to do. And there's 3 Blind Mice Golden Tier. I don't think I want to play that on my board. I could also Giant Growth my Sir Francis Drake. Yeah, I think I'm more interested in that. Let's just play for power here. So our Sir Francis Drake at this point in the game, probably going to be bigger than most of what our opponents are doing. And we get 2 hunt triggers off. Feels pretty good. Okay, going into turn 10 here. There's Anne Bunny, which is not a bad one to say the least. There's also Happily Ever After. We could keep trying to buff up our Drake. This 2-headed dragon is also going to get pretty big because it has Treasure Hoard. You may want to take this just because of the raw stats of the thing. And Bunny is also, yeah, it is smaller than the Davy Jones, but this is certainly replaceable at this point in the game. We have invested a lot into our current characters, which is good and bad. It means that we don't necessarily need to find upgrades for our board, but at the same time means that we're not always investing in stronger characters. Like putting this Jasmine Dragon on board might be better, but it's kind of hard to justify. I guess I am. When you collect your first treasure each turn, you get a bonus shop. I think it does make sense to take the Jasmine Dragon, and I'm going to replace the Davy Jones. My reasoning here is that if this is going to generate us more treasures, then the Jasmine Dragon is going to give us an extra shop, and I think that'll be pretty good for us. Okay, here I don't really like what I see, so I'm just going to take the Shrink Tea in case our opponent is very strong. I think this would make sense. And oh, do we have a spell book punch card? I didn't realize that. Oh, I guess we got actually. This is something I didn't realize, and it didn't, I think, show up. We have double in our hunt ability, so we actually got 4 treasures off of this. So not only did we get these 2, we also got the Rainbow Bridge, and we got Spellbook Punch card. So that's pretty good. All right, looks like we're a good deal bigger than our opponent here. And we got Tiamat's Claw. That's a pretty good one. I don't think we're going to be trading too effectively here, but we're at least going to tie them because of our ranged character. So we got Tiamat's Claw. When 5 of your characters are KO'd, get a random treasure, and dragons count as double. Feels good. Ooh, there's Pirate King. I have +6/+6 for each pirate you've recruited this game, and it can give us a legendary treasure. It's already stat-wise just going to be bigger than most of what we're doing here. And it's interesting. I guess the Jasmine Dragon didn't actually trigger. That makes me kind of want to replace it. But is it the one that I want to replace right now? Maybe not. Could also replace the Ninja in Training, but we saw how good that can do, the good things that can do for us. So this is kind of a tough decision what we want to replace. I think with the treasure hoarding, the dragon just having treasure hoard too makes sense. So I'm going to take the Pirate King, and is it Smee? Is it this parrot? +3 attack versus +4/+4. I guess this is 38-13. This is a 29-12. I'll just replace the Despicable Smee here. And this doesn't need to hunt to do its thing. It's already actually going to trigger at the end of combat here. So we're in a pretty good spot. Then there's another Starlight Starbright. Sounds good to me. Just buff up our team. And there's Bahamut. There's also Blackbeard's Parrot upgrade. This could reroll our shop and allow us to find another treasure like our Blackbeard that would be better for, or another character I should say, like Blackbeard, which could be better for us. Bahamut also just being a 67-66 it's pretty big. You got to play for the stats, I think. I'll replace this back here. It's going to be bigger over there. And yeah, let's go into our fight here. All right, our opponent's scaling pretty well, but with that, we are also scaling a little bit higher than they are. We are really incentivized to knock them out now, but we do not. And that's okay. We did get a ton of treasures there, including our Pirate King triggering. So what do we have here? Gingerbread Oven. One of your characters is KO'd. Give your other characters +3/+3. It's okay. Your characters have Hunt. Give my slot +15/+15. That sounds great. And then also give your heroes and villains Hunt. Give your characters +5/+5. So slot versus all of our characters. I mean, the slot is +15/+15, but that's actually +30/+30 because of our captain, and thus I think about this Sword of Light and Shadow, which cares about heroes and villains. You know, I really don't have too many of those, so I guess it is just this Mercy Sword of Maximus. All right, and we did get a treasure there. There's Blessings of Athena. Could also get another treasure here from the 3 Blind Mice. Sure, we passed up on it before. Not a bad time to get it. All right, silver characters in your shop turn to gold. That's pretty good. We also could get a legendary spell or have a luckier treasure. I'm going to take this because if we are able to actually increase or get a treasure off of our legendary characters, we'll get a secret rare treasure, and those are very, very powerful. All right, well, here's Scar, which is, you know, when any of your characters hunt, give villains in your shop +4/+4. All of our characters are going to be doing that. So this could kind of spiral out of control pretty quickly, and I will just replace that down there, the Jasmine Dragon. I'll take the Scar upgrade. Davy Jones, not that great. Mixo Macho, though, is kind of interesting. Choose a character. At the start of fight, its stats grow to match the enemy across from it. So with this, it is going to keep those stats permanently. So we could put it on one of our frontline characters and they could grow even more. That being said, I have a feeling my characters are bigger than everyone else's right now, so I'm just going to cycle this Davy Jones, and another Down Comes the Rain feels excellent here. Certainly going to take that. And this is interesting. There's all hands on deck, so you can increase the damage of our characters even more. But also there is Jelly Roger. When you recruit a pirate, including me, you attack first this fight. I really like attacking first if I'm going to be hunting, so I'm just going to recruit this Jelly Roger and hope that we are bigger than what our opponent is doing. They have a big bad wolf there and we don't hit it, but it does die regardless of that. And Oberon, I think we're actually going to knock our opponents out. No, we're not going to get him to a half heart. That's going to be pretty tough. I think this big bad wolf we're going to have to outscale, but that's okay. We can do that. Twinkle Twinkle is interesting. Ninja in Training as well. I kind of just want to cycle this. You know what? It's probably better than the parrot realistically. And okay, there's Sir Francis Drake. There's also Weird Beard, but let's just take the Drake upgrade. And oh, there it is. There's ye old Blackbeard. Okay, so I definitely want to take Blackbeard. This is kind of exactly what we built around, and there's Hercules as well. This is the 1-2 combo I was talking about. So if this is able to hunt and get its trigger off, it's going to make all of our other characters way bigger. And do I want to put Sir Francis Drake up here? You know, I'm wondering if it's get a random treasure, then improve this ability. I'm wondering if it's even giving us treasures anymore. That's interesting. Regardless, let's go into this fight and hope we attack first. We do, and you can see the buffs. That's some good buffs. Our Hercules is now 264, 263 just from this one attack, and I think we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, because of this, it doesn't matter too much what we take here. I think we have the board that we need to win. I'll just put this greed on the Blackbeard, make it even bigger, and I'll cycle this parrot. Why not? Now it could give even more damage to our Blackbeard. Probably makes sense. Okay, Pirate King, sure. Get that there. Jasmine Dragon will cycle. And I don't really want any of these things, but I'll just throw this Ironcast Dragon into the Abyss. And this is potentially our final fight, depending on how big they are. But let's see. Yeah, we hit with our Blackbeard, and now our Hercules is a 10,439. I think we're going to be a-okay here. Cool. And you can see from this just how crazy the hunt triggers can get on Jay Sparrow. This is one of those runs where I wish it went on just like a day or two longer so you could see the absurdity that comes with playing with some of these really powerful characters. Generally, when I play in the ladder here, what I'm trying to do is go for the most powerful plays possible. I am worried in like the first couple days about having the raw stats to survive, but in the late game I'm really trying to find secret rares, or I'm trying to find these like 1-2 combo synergies that can go completely over the top of what our opponents are doing, not prioritizing like gaining +3/+3 on my characters and stuff like that. What I'd rather gain is +10,000 +10,000. So that's how I like to play the game. But with that, let's see where we ended up here. I've been around this 2,240 async MMR for a little bit here and trying to climb even further, but we're doing pretty good, I feel like, where we're at right now. But with that, I appreciate you joining me here today for another episode on Once Upon a Galaxy. I again wanted to thank Zach at the Once Upon a Galaxy team for sending me another spoiler here and having everyone take a look at Volo and all of his glory. I think that this is going to be a super interesting card to play with. And all that being said, I intend to put out some more Once Upon a Galaxy content here over the coming weeks and kind of put that into the rotation there. I really believe in this game and what they're trying to do, not only with their community, but with the game itself. It's just been so much fun to play. But with that, if you want to support what I do, you can feel free to like, subscribe. We actually just hit over 500 subscribers, which is super cool. But I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Bye-bye.